The effect of Brexit on immigration. Part 4. The points system works as follows. It is regularly changing and inconsistently reported, but this is the best I can do as of May 2025. The latest version went active on April the 4th, 2024. You need 70 points in order to get a visa. These are allocated from a list of 8 criteria, of which 3 are mandatory and 5 are tradable. 2 of the mandatory criteria give 20 points, and 1 of them gives 10, totaling 50 points. The remaining 20 points must come from the tradable criteria, which all give 20 points. The mandatory criteria for a work visa comprise 1. An offer of employment from an approved sponsor, a company or individual employer, 20 points. 2. The job being an approved skill level, referring to the visa type set by the government, 20 points. 3. Understanding English sufficiently, passing a test, 10 points. The tradable criteria comprise 4. A salary of more than £38,700. 5. The role being on the immigration salary list, meaning a sought-after role decided by the MAC, and having a salary of more than £30,960. 6. Having a PhD relevant to the role and a salary of more than £34,830. 7. Having a PhD in a STEM subject relevant to the role and a salary of more than £30,960. 8. Being a new entrant to the labour market, under 26 years old, with a salary more than £30,960. It should be said that since April 2024, the criteria has been tied much closer to salary. This was an attempt by Sunak to tighten the process, and is probably going to decrease numbers somewhat. The visa types are as follows: skilled worker, health and care worker, global business mobility, global talent, high potential individual, graduate, startup and innovator founder, youth mobility scheme, temporary visas comprising seasonal, government authorized exchange, creative, religious, charity, international agreement. A skilled worker visa covers an extremely large list of around 5,000 professions, some controversially included. It lasts for 5 years, after which you can apply for leave to remain. Once you get leave to remain, you have to wait only a year before applying for citizenship. Application for a skilled worker visa costs £769 if your placement is up to 3 years long, and £1,519 if it's longer. If you're on the immigration salary list, in other words a list of more sought-after workers, it is £590 or £1,160. The fee must be paid again on each dependent and your partner if you wish to bring them. Extending the visa also incurs a cost and a £1,035 health surcharge to access the NHS. You need to have at least £1,270 in savings to be eligible, plus more if you're bringing a partner or dependent. It requires a salary of £38,700, but can be 80% lower if you're on the immigration salary list. It can be 70 to 90% lower if you're under 26 and studying or in professional training, you have a STEM degree relevant to your job, or you have a postdoctorate role from a select list in science or higher education. A health and care worker visa also lasts 5 years and has the savings requirement, but there is no health surcharge and the application costs are cheaper, £304 for a role lasting up to 3 years and £590 for longer. Again, your partner and each dependent must be paid for at the same rate. A graduate visa, as mentioned, lasts for 2 years, or 3 years for those with PhDs. A job of any skill level can be done. It cannot be extended, but if the graduate gets a job offer in a skilled profession, they can switch to a skilled worker visa. Presumably, the object of this is to retain graduates in the system until they become skilled. I won't go into the rest of the visas, but the rest are generally for shorter time periods, 6 months to a year, and they all require a small application fee, a small amount of savings, and the health surcharge. Most allow for dependents and partners to come as well if you pay for them. To qualify for indefinite leave to remain, you must have lived in the UK for 5 years on a work visa, or 10 years if you've been here legally by other means. It should have been 5 or 10 years continuously, within reason. You must pass the notoriously easy English and Life in the UK tests, costing £150 and £50 respectively. Application costs £3,029 plus the health surcharge. To qualify for citizenship, you need to have had one of the following for at least a year: indefinite leave to remain, indefinite leave to enter the UK, or EU settled status. Alternatively, if you've been married to a British or Irish citizen, you can apply for citizenship as soon as you get the leave to remain. It used to be easier to become a citizen through marriage, but this was tightened up after widespread abuse. The citizenship application costs £1,605 plus £130 for the award ceremony if you are successful. You must be over 18 and have passed the English and Life in the UK tests. You must not have broken any immigration law, and supposedly your character is vetted too. Suffice to say, there are plenty of ways for people to come to our country, and the processes are not as strict as they could be. This can't go on if we want to get a grip on the numbers and indeed the social damage.